Hong Kong is a modern international city, and Victoria Harbour is like a bright pearl. High-rise buildings are everywhere, and the population density ranks high in the world. Under pressure from the large population and development, are there enough reservoirs to manage water resources? Hong Kong's 1,100 square kilometers of land has 7.4 million people. Only about 1/4 of the land can be used as urban area, as 75% is mountainous, so there's no way to collect water. There are many mountains and little land, as well as no major river. In order to retain water, in 1860, the Hong Kong government turned a valley into the Pak Fu Lam Reservoir. This reservoir in Hong Kong, also called Embankment Pond, the size of the reservoir is not large, as the main function is to collect rainwater. But Hong Kong is hot and rainless this year, and compared to the same period last year, the water storage capacity is obviously reduced by 10%. In May and June of 2018, Hong Kong experienced the most severe drought since 1963. The rainfall in the 3 months was only 457.3 millimeters. This caused the reservoir shortage in the whole port to be only 390 million cubic meters, the lowest in the past 5 years. The main rainfall in Hong Kong is concentrated in the summer and autumn, and the area alternates between drought and flood every year. Winter is the dry season, so water in this reservoir suddenly drops down. There's a major lack of water. There are several main reasons. The first is the climate, and then this type of land is just high mountains and water. Drainage is very quick and there is no place to collect it. The third is the geological condition, where mainly granite, which is hard to infiltrate, so groundwater is not developed. Therefore, the construction of ponds early by the Hong Kong government was used as a buffer to regulate the uneven distribution of water resources between droughts and floods. Currently has 17 reservoirs in Hong Kong with a total water storage capacity of 586 million cubic meters. Based on Hong Kong's daily average freshwater consumption of 2.72 million cubic meters, it can maintain about 7 months of water supply.
在香港历史当中，我们最主要的一个水资源的。
In the history of Hong Kong, one of the most important sources of water supply is local water collection, including collecting rainwater in reservoirs and then supplying water for local use. In the late 1970s, local supply still accounted for the vast majority of water.
本地的这个供应还是占了绝大部分。
Here is the upper Tai Tam Reservoir in Hong Kong, which is one of the most important reservoirs in the area. The dam in front of the reporter is the Tai Tam Reservoir Dam. This year is the 100th anniversary of dam construction. It can be said that it was the first in Asia. At that time, in order to build this dam, 15 families and their ancestors were relocated as the Tai Tam village was submerged underwater. The reason for the construction of the dam is to provide a large area for water collection, which was once an important source of water supply for Hong Kong. A large number of historic buildings around the pond were listed as culturally important in 2009. Hong Kong's Jaffe Road is 1,660 meters in length. It was named such to commemorate the chief engineer of the Tai Tam Dam, who died at the age of 46, 2 years after the dam was completed from leukemia. The old age of water conservancy projects, as well as demand and extreme weather, led Hong Kong to carry out an assessment in the 1960s, finding water consumption is still 200 million cubic meters short of supply. As a cosmopolitan city, there was a need for a stable source of water, instead of constantly waiting for God to provide rain. At the moment, water is flowing down these stairs on this water diversion channel near the Hong Kong Reservoir. It seems that the water volume is very abundant, but this scene is not so common in Hong Kong, especially in 1963, when Hong Kong was experiencing very serious water problems. When the water in the reservoir went dry and the groundwater was not enough, the Hong Kong government bought water from China 2 years later. Since then, many ponds and reservoirs in Hong Kong have been used to store water from Dongjiang. Despite the new water source, Hong Kong at that time was still a British colony. Because of political considerations, the government did not want to rely entirely on Dongjiang water, so they had to find new waterways and create a safe source of water.
就是因为15年的时候
In 1965, the water from Dongjiang was coming to Hong Kong. Hong Kong lacks flat land, so they made this offshore reservoir. This is the 50-year history of the Hong Kong water supply.
多年的香港的供水这个历史。
从海里面做水库，那我们船湾水塘。
From the reservoir, Plover Cove and High Island, we now have 2 reservoirs with dams which block the seawater, which had to be pumped. This has combined water storage of about 500 million cubic meters.
把这个海水抽走，那这两个合起来差不多5亿的立方的。
Plover Cove and High Island Reservoir are the earliest large-scale freshwater coastal reservoirs in the world. The advanced water conservancy facilities are considered the pride of Hong Kong. However, there are no plans to build new reservoirs at the moment, and the reservoir's water source is completely different. At present, in Hong Kong, 20% of rainwater is stored, and 80% of the Dongjiang water is stored, which has to be purchased with foreign currency.